I never thought I'd see the day when the people who were supposed to protect us pull the gun, not on a criminal, but on my wife. And what they didn't know, she's Delta Force. Still active, still trained, still a lethal operator. And that little stunt they pulled, it turned into the biggest disaster our HOA ever walked into. You want to know how a quiet suburban community turned into a war zone over a garden fence and how my wife, of all people, flipped the script? Buckle in, because this isn't just about homeownership. It's about revenge, military secrets, and one very, very stupid HOA officer. It all started on a Wednesday morning. My wife, Rachel, was planting tomatoes, quiet, peaceful. She'd just gotten home from a 3-week mission abroad. Nobody here knew what she really did for a living. She liked it that way, low profile. I was inside, working from my home office, when I saw flashing lights outside. Not police, HOA enforcement in full tactical vests. They said our garden violated Appearance Code Section 34B. But it wasn't just a citation, it was an ambush. I ran outside when I heard shouting ... and that's when I saw it. One of the HOA officers had drawn a gun on Rachel. She stood there, perfectly still, her hands slightly raised. But I could see her scanning everything. Positions, cover, wind, she was going into Delta mode. I shouted, "She's not a threat, that's my wife." The HOA guy barked back, "You're interfering with community enforcement procedures." That's when Rachel smiled. Let me tell you something these morons didn't know. Rachel has served 12 years with the Delta Force. She's done things I'm not even allowed to know. Surveillance, close quarter combat, urban takedowns. And she's still officially active. She's come home with bruises, knife scars, and even stories about disarming bombs. All while baking banana bread for our daughter's PTA. These HOA cowboys thought they were flexing power. They had no clue who they were messing with. What happened next changed our neighborhood forever. But before I tell you how my wife brought the entire HOA board to their knees, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Because if you think this is crazy, wait until you hear how the FBI got involved. And what Rachel did with just a cell phone and one command code. Go ahead, I'll wait. Click that button. Alright, let's go. Rachel didn't raise her voice. She didn't scream. She stepped forward slowly and calmly said, "I need you to lower your weapon, right now." The HOA goon laughed. "Make me," she muttered a phrase. Something I'd only heard once before during her military briefing. Code Echo 91, active operator in civilian threat protocol. Her phone buzzed. Within 60 seconds, 2 unmarked black vehicles turned the corner. A silent drone buzzed overhead. The HOA guy was now surrounded. And still didn't understand what was happening. Rachel said, "You have two choices, holster that weapon and walk away. Or end your HOA career with a federal charge." He froze. HOLSTRED ... But it wasn't over. Rachel filed charges, not just for the threat. She unearthed illegal citations, misuse of HOA funds, and even unauthorized weapon purchases by the HOA head, all with the help of her military clearance. Then she went to court not as a civilian, but as an active Delta operator protected under federal immunity. The HOA president arrested. The fake HOA police fired and investigated. The neighborhood watching in absolute awe as my wife walked out of the courtroom in full uniform, medals shining. She looked back once, smiled, and said, "Next time, send someone who knows what they're doing." You'd think that would be the end of it. But just last week, we got a letter. A new HOA had formed a reform board. They wanted Rachel to serve as head of community security. Her answer, "Only if I get to write the rules." They agreed. Now, our neighborhood's the safest, quietest, most respectful place in the state. And everyone waves when Rachel walks by. Because if there's one thing they all learn it, never pull a gun, unless you know exactly who you're dealing with.